seems like everybody is alive, yet nobody's actually living their life. You know? In this 2026, we have the best medical equipment, all this medical treatment, keep you healthy and all. So people are not dying as much, you know? Women went from, I believe, 1 in 17 women before dying from childbirth to now it's like very few, right? You don't hear about it very often, right? And most babies, like, it used to be normal for babies to die uh, after they're born, like when they're born or before they turn 5. Nowadays, it's like kind of rare to see that, right? And so, in a good way, that's really good, right? That's great. People live longer and all, right? We have better, better, better medicine, but there's a lot of bad stuff in it, like chemicals and stuff. But still, we're not dying as much, and we have better medical treatment, right? You can get surgery and stuff, something we couldn't do before, right? Yet somehow everything on the exterior is perfect. It's awesome, right? But on the interior, in our heads, we are worse than we ever have been in the past. You know? Because people are depressed, lonely, bored, anxious, stressed, and other things like sinful stuff like pride and angerful, but that would already happen in the past, right? So it's nothing different. But all this stuff, anger or not anger, but anxiety, depression, loneliness, and even suicide before in the past, let's say in the 17 to 1800s and backwards, or maybe even early 1900s, it's like, yeah, people would, kill themselves, but nowadays it's way more common, right? You see it more. Because before, it's like maybe if your life was horrible, you would do it, but, and that wasn't too often. But nowadays, everybody's life is horrible, you know? And something that before, in like past times, there would be a lot of war and fighting, right? Which in a sense isn't good, right? There'd be a lot of famine, hunger, stuff like that. People would be dying a lot more, you know? Well, law might have not been as good in some newer civilizations, so there's a lot of external chaos and fighting. But on the inside, in their heads, in their hearts, everybody was healthy, you know? People didn't have depression, anxiety, loneliness, right? People didn't have to deal with that because people, they would hang out with other people, they would surround themselves with others, which is something that nowadays nobody actually does, right? Like, people don't socialize anymore, and the worst part is that they're not lonely on their own. People go on stuff like Instagram or whatever, and they see reels of other people having fun, having what you don't want, right? Like when you're a little kid, I'm sure you can relate, or maybe you've seen little kids. Uh, you have a toy, right? You're playing with like this toy, and then maybe like a parent or somebody tells you to wait. Yeah, you're playing with it, and then maybe somebody like your little brother or sister or another kid wants it because they see you're having fun, so you give it to them, or they steal it from you, whatever, right? You don't have it anymore, so you go do your own thing, and you find another toy or thing to do, and they see you're having fun with that, so they copy you, right? They try to take it from you again. They keep doing that. It's because people see that you're having fun with something, you're having a great blast, a great time with something, and they want it too. That's just human nature. You become envious, jealous, right? And with social media, this can be amplified a ton, and you're not only craving something someone else has that is something nice and random, like maybe you see somebody with a cool watch, or somebody with a um, maybe with like a cool yo-yo tricks or whatever. I don't know, bro. Right? Maybe they have really cool books that you want to read, and maybe you don't care about these things, but you notice it and you're like, oh wow, that's a lot of cool books. I want that, right? But when you see people doing something that's your basic human necessity that you're not doing, you crave it so much more, right? Like, for example, food. If you saw somebody having a great 5 course meal while you're starving, haven't eaten in 4 days, you're gonna be crazy jealous of them. And that's natural. But we don't only have a need for food and water and sleep and somewhere to sleep, shelter, right? We have a human necessity for socialization, socializing with other humans. But we deprive ourselves of that for whatever reason. And when we see other people having that, we become jealous of them, you know? We want that, which is why people become so lonely with by being online all the time, right? You're not outside. And something else is that I'll be honest with you, I'm not crazy social. I don't hang out with people a ton outside of school, right? I recently haven't been able to go biking or anything or go for a run, but I just go out here in nature and I'm not depressed or anything. I feel pretty fine, right? Maybe a little sad that I can't go biking. I'm not sad, but frustrated, but that's okay, right? I'm not depressed. If I was on my phone and I was like, say, scrolling all day from like when I get home till when I go to bed, I would be feeling really anxious and lonely, right? So, something I noticed is that in the past people would be fighting and all. So, the outside was dangerous, but on the inside, in your heart, in your brain, in your family maybe, it was peaceful. It was nice, right? You know? But nowadays it's the other way around. Everything is nice on the outside, right? You don't hear of, well, yeah, there's countries going to war and stuff, but it's like, when was the last time you, like, where you live was a war zone? More than likely, it never happened, or if it did happen, it was like 1 or 200 years ago, if not more, right? So you have this, like, well, I guess that could have happened in the past, but you get what I mean. Maybe would have gone to war, would have lost some teeth, stuff like that. But nowadays, we don't have that, right? We have medicine and stuff, so you're perfectly fine, comfortable. And the problem with being so comfortable, now I'm not advocating for cutting off your leg and going to war, losing your leg because of war, but what I am saying is we're too comfortable. And when you're too comfortable, you you become chaotic, uh, anxious, worried, stressed on the inside. You get depression. I don't think depression, people, I don't think depression is actually that real. Like, it is real, but people could take care of it if they just live smarter, if you know what I mean, right? So there's a lot of problems that we could deal with, yet we don't. It, we could deal with them in by just living the way we used to live, and we could be happy on the inside. Now, as a result of this, something you can do is you should try to minimize your comfort on the inside. Someone watching me? No, I'm fine. Minimize your comfort on the. What did I just say? Minimize your comfort, right? Now, I'm not saying sleep in the rain, but you could do something like maybe take a cold shower, or maybe be a little cold, so stop wearing the nice jacket you have, right? Stuff like that. Or don't scroll on your phone. Or if you're going out to eat somewhere, to a nice restaurant with your family, and you're like, ooh, look at that cheeseburger or whatever, or something. Or you see a nice juicy steak. I love steak, bro. Steak is awesome. You could go with something you would prefer less. Now, steak is really healthy, so you shouldn't not choose it. But instead of saying picking French fries, you could pick a vegetable you absolutely hate, or like potatoes if you don't like them, which I love potatoes though. So, but you get where I'm going. Try to eliminate comfort a bit. Make your heart harder. Make your heart harder. Make your life harder. You know, something Goggins says very often is that you want to callous your mind, and this is I really like this idea. Now, Goggins, people say he's too extreme on this, and to be fair, he kind of is, but it's a good idea. So you want to callous your mind, so do hard stuff, go for runs, do stuff you don't want to do, because it makes you a better person. It makes you have more value. And when something hard does happen, it doesn't absolutely suck. You get what I'm saying, bro? By the way, guys, I don't know what you guys think of this. Maybe you think this is weird. Maybe you can't hear me because of so much noise this thing is making. But I'm trying out with new video ideas. I usually sit like right there when I record YouTube videos outside, but today I switched it up, chilling on the hammock, enjoying life, being happy, you know? So, if you, my friend, want to, what was I even gonna say? If you want to, blah, blah, then I did this stupid thing. I don't know what my point with that was, but if you like this video, don't like it, tell me in the comments that you actually liked it, because when people like your video, you don't know what they liked about it, you know? So, yeah. See you guys. Bye. Have a good one. Enjoy nature. And also, remember this. You only live once. So do things in life that you'll remember. Right? You're not going to remember. You probably don't remember the last reel or short you saw. If you do, then what was the reel you saw 3 shorts ago or whatever, or 3 reels ago? You're not going to remember, but you will remember. You won't have memories of scrolling or playing Fortnite with your friends. Or you probably not. Maybe if you play with them in real life, but not online. However, you will have memories of beautiful things like this. Hitting new gym PRs, hanging out with people, going in nature, socializing, spending time with friends and family. See you guys, and bye.